Greetings and welcome to another compelling episode of CoCoTALK Game On Challenge Live, where this week our nightmare is robot. No, wait. We're playing No Robot Nightmare. Our nightmare is being on CoCoTALK. I don't know what we did to get punished with this, but hey, so is life. I mean, if you're going to do the crime, you got to. I mean, if you're going to do the time, you got to do the
something like that.
Yeah. If you're going to do the crime, you got to do the time, and we did something to get this crime or time. Yeah, there's too many damn words. Let's reduce the alphabet a little bit. I think the Hawaiian alphabet's perfect. There's only 12 letters in it, which is rather interesting because their words are significantly longer than ours. But yes, we're playing.
Each word uses all of them.
Yes, they use them all. I mean, they don't waste anything. So we're playing Robot Nightmare by Ken Reighard, aka the tormentor of the Coco Man. Speaking of Coco Man, where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, I mean, he said he was going to be here.
Ken should be here.
Ken
should hear all the expletives.
Yes. As a matter of fact, let's send out a ping to him. All right.
All right. Minimize the screen. Go to the screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reboot. VCG isn't running.
Oh, that's why I use XROAR.
Oh, I guess I might.
They've already managed to get a high score of 300.
Oh, when my video card gets angry, it doesn't like to run any emulators. So I will be right back.
Okay, Ken, you need to have a way that we can just type in your name.
There. Let's see. Unfortunately.
I heard you're looking for a Ken. I'm not the Ken, but I'm a Ken.
All right. We'll accept it. All right. Speak again, Ken, so we can get a volume level on you.
I'm speaking.
Cool.
Can people hear me?
I have no idea.
Is this thing on? Hello?
Yes. Good.
Discord updated again and lost all my settings. So.
Yeah. Speaking of a Mr. Reighard, it's the wrong one. Well, actually the right one, because I was asking for both of them.
The left one.
Yeah, we need the right one.
Okay.
No, we were.
Is it this? Is it what I heard? It's this week in Feature Creek.
We were saying that we needed to. We needed your brother here. Speak of the devil.
Speaking of,
yes.
Is,
You.
There's too many Kens here now. Jeez.
we have.
You understand you don't have anything better to do than to play bad, buggy games.
Yeah, that we've played in various forms before.
Hey, it makes us feel like it's something, on a modern system.
Yeah. And Ken,
Okay.
Ken,
Goop this one all up.
Ken, just so you know, because of the medical requirements, we do have a psych doctor in the chat for people who need it.
Mental health cannot be understated.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Sparks. We will make sure that we try to keep sane in this, but if not, we're glad you're here.
It was Dr. Spock?
Sparks.
Oh,
You see,
Dr. Remulak.
yeah,
I am
you,
Dr. Remulak.
You see in the chat, the stream chat.
Do we have a stream chat?
Yeah.
Dr. Joshua Sparks.
Yep.
No, Nicholas Sparks.
Who is it?
Quinn.
Curtis
Wait,
says
sorry.
that other than Slippy, everybody else sounds like we're talking from the bottom of the
He told me
can.
he was going to kill me.
I think it might have been just.
tin can.
I think that might have just been you, Ken, because you were turned down because you were pretty low.
It's
You
just
tell me I told
because
you.
you're Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't want to take over the whole show.
Well,
It's
no,
not all of- it's not all about me.
Well-
Not you.
no, you were low
That's the
because I had you turned down.
How dare you turn down Canadian retro things?
Because
How dare you?
he was Canadian and overpowering.
That's not usually something you hear about Canada.
Nope.
This is hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Hortons.
On news of the bugs, the bug with the high score, I found what was wrong with that too, and I fixed it, and I will be distributing it soon.
Yeah, like I'm ever going to make 10,000 and have to worry about it.
Well, I don't have to worry about a high score.
Neither have I, so that's probably why I didn't get it tested properly.
I want my toll.
Who was your testers?
They will remain anonymous.
20 monkeys locked in a room.
We know that level 1 was okay, but that's about it.
It was an infinite number of monkeys and an infinite number of typewriters.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, there's your
They
problem.
produced some Shakespeare, but they didn't test the game properly.
You should have used Grillos instead.
It was
I
the
should've
best
used
of
Brian.
times. It was the worst of times.
I should have just used Brian Walsh
Yeah.
Why can't I just type in my name? Why do I have to go through all the scrolling thing?
For the arcade
'Cause I-
experience. isn't it?
because I hate you. No, because I wanted you. No, because I wanted you to be able to not have to bother putting down the joystick if you were using the joystick. You could do it that way.
Well, my keyboard's already in my lap anyway.
Hmm.
You can't make everybody happy.
It was an artistic choice.
Okay,
Apparently, we have artistic differences, and
that's okay.
we will have to agree that you're wrong.
Okay.
Ken,
Doesn't mean I can play this though.
Which one?
you. The Homer has a question. How in the HE double hockey sticks do you kill the robots without getting shot?
One way to do it is to sneak up behind them.
Uh-huh.
I'm not very successful at that.
That is the main way, is to go behind them and to do a lot of shooting and ducking around corners.
Quack.
Yes, quacking around corners.
That's quackers.
That is
Or you'll just quack up.
the bit, and try to anticipate when they're going to come around a corner and shoot them and be gone. So
Yeah, that's what I do.
This is loosely based on the RE-2000 M Network game Dark Cavern, adaptation of the Intellivision game Night Stalker, but actually rather different, more different than the average M Network to Intellivision game.
That was
it had
more
the same-
inspired by.
It had the same thing. You have to sneak up behind them until, of course, they become two-headed and can shoot in two directions. Then it becomes a little more difficult. Then you got to do a lot more just ducking around corners and anticipating them. So you just can't go straight at them guns a-blazing because, well, you can, but it won't
Not
work.
very long.
But as far as the not typing the high score, I just wanted to
Okay.
need to put down the joystick. So
Well,
We
you
got
know-
a lot of AAAAs.
It does remember the last thing you typed in, so that's a good thing.
yes, that was kind of done by accident. I said, "Hey, that's nice. I'll keep it that way."
Would have been nice if there was one more character in the high score name, but
6 is perfect.
6 was fairly arbitrary because
That's what fit.
my my text, well, I think the text will fit about 9 characters across because you had to make it wide enough so M's and N's and H's would be look different to use the 3 bytes instead of just 2. Q still sucks, but who uses Q?
My son,
No. Quincy?
Quinn.
Quentin? Quincy?
Quinn.
Quinn. Okay.
Yeah.
Apologies to Quinn then, because
Yeah, he.
better way to do Q in the limited number of pixels.
Yeah, he's named after the main character in the show Sliders.
Love that show.
Yeah, if he was a boy.
Yeah, that was great. That show was great till it went to hell.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons were great.
Yeah, then it just.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Yeah.
switch out the main actor for his brother?
Yep.
Yep. That's why I said the first 3 seasons were great, and that's when the changes came that really made it go downhill. If
What they killed off Professor Arturus.
Yeah.
Was that Sala?
yeah, that yeah, because if he was a boy, he was going to be named Quinn, and if he was a girl, he was going to be named Mallory.
Actually, with that
Mallory.
name, it says if he was a boy, he could be named Quinn, and if he was a girl, he still could have just named him Quinn. Or her Quinn.
His mother didn't like the name Quinn for a girl.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have gone Quinn either way. But
Pardon me.
Well, that was
That
well
was
brought
my-
up. It happened to be
That
you.
was, I just couldn't get to the cough button soon enough. That was thanks,
So-
thanks, Sprite Zero.
sort of like my older son's named Joshua. Gee, I wonder where that name came from.
Yeah, this plays great with an Atari type joystick, although it's like the Wicco ones with an adapter.
Well, it should, because it really lends itself to a digital style joystick.
Oh, should I use my Atari joystick instead of my Epix?
I am having it. I'm liking it better this way.
I think you should use a digital joystick or a keyboard. But it does work with the deluxe rig. I haven't tried
So
it.
my boy.
Well, normally I use an Epix. Yeah, normally I use an Epix 500 XJ, but I also have an Atari joystick here.
Sounds pretty epic.
That sounds very fancy.
Yeah, it is. It's a micro switch.
It sounds like overkill
See?
for this crappy
We're getting something off the news wire. Someone cue Walter Cronkite.
No, this is CoCoTALk. We can't afford that. We got L. Curtis Boyle.
And Walter Cronkite's really cheap these days.
Well, I don't know what I did, but DCC just went poof.
You broke it.
Poof.
It doesn't move.
Good.
I really wish it was a pause button.
Oh, use his left joystick.
If only you knew the guy that made the game the bastard to put a pause in.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I saw something shiny and wandered off.
Well, the good news is you kind of get a pause because after you're killed, it doesn't force you out of the starting position.
Right.
So that kind of is a quasi pause. Irrational.
Quasi.
Oops.
It's not an issue.
Oops.
It's a feature.
What are those things that I keep getting and don't seem to get any points for?
Is that dying?
Are you talking about the snake in the blob?
No. That little thing there on the
Flashy
left.
blue-
The flashy thing.
That's bullet left.
Oh.
Bullets.
Oh, you don't have unlimited?
No.
Oh, damn.
The blue number at the bottom is the number of bullets.
If you would have read the fine manual,
I did. How do you
Oh.
how do you think I know that it was it had an error in it? Remember?
oh, okay, yeah.
Robot nightmare.
Your number of bullets is in the bottom right, the dark blue thing. That's how many bullets you have. You start off with 20, and anytime you pick up one of those ammo boxes, which is the blinking thing, you get another 10.
It's the blinking fire hydrant, I believe, is what that is. It's where you get your bullets.
I thought that was a tombstone.
What do you want on your tombstone? Cheese and pepperoni.
Well,
It's the ticking fire hydrant.
in the game that inspired it, it has a picture of a gun, but in the space that I had allocated, I couldn't make a gun that didn't look stupid. So I made something else and I made it flash.
So you made everything else look stupid except for the fire hydrant.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Well, actually, the snake looks like a snake.
They look like a snake.
Yeah, but the robots.
The robots look like the robots from the Atari game.
Yeah, they actually came out remarkably similar. The snake in the Atari game is a spider, but the spider I didn't like the way it looked, so I decided to go with the snake. Either one can be
Definitely an
fine.
artistic choice.
What you should have done was made them look like the like a Commodore logo and an Apple logo, and called it Computer Nightmare.
Well, I thought there's always could be that in the future. Or not.
That's a special
That could be the
Coco Fest edition.
Right. It's like the Halloween version of Ghost Rush, sort of special edition sort of thing.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad somebody I hope is enjoying this. So, but I have to take off here because I just had some family come home, and I'm going to try to be on the show tomorrow, so you can abuse me again then.
So you're saying family's more important than us?
I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you're implying it by your
Well, you
actions.
know. Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm saying you're. There we go.
I'm saying it involves now getting food, and I'm hungry. So,
Hi, hungry. I'm dead.
and wife just got home from work where somebody called off to her. She had to work late. So,
Ooh, I'm sure she's in a good
get
mood.
food. I better take her to get
Are
food.
you going to the car wash?
I doubt it.
That restaurant's never been the same since it burnt down and became a car wash.
Yes. Everything's all the drinks are watered down.
Yeah.
It's soapy.
The gravy's a bit liquidy.
It's crystal gravy.
Oh man, now I have to enter my name.
Well, you only have to do it once.
Uh-huh.
So hard.
But you have to get it right.
First
Yeah.
world problems. Well, I can't get mine right because there's only 6 characters.
I'm sure we all have at least one entry that has one letter and the rest A's.
Yep,
How
I
many
did that.
arcade games things did
I-
you do?
Yeah, I would not recommend just dropping the second O in Coco Man.
I opted to just abbreviate it, leave out the A at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's CoCo, Minnesota.
CoCo, Minnesota. That's a lovely place this time of year.
Wonderful beaches and surf.
See the majestic moose.
And the moose, as long as the moose isn't loose in the hoose.
Place.
Sassafras.
I gotta run. Have a good one.
Yeah.
You know, there's only
Yeah.
one letter.
Bye.
There's only one letter difference between mouse and moose.
That's
Ah.
right.
You were supposed to go up.
No, I'm supposed to be here so I could play the game on stream tonight, since it's Ken's game. Also known as my brother.
Oh, you know him?
I've known him all my life.
I'm sorry.
Most people are. Oh,
It's the old saying, you can choose your friends and enemies, but family you're stuck with.
I believe it's you can choose you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friends' noses.
Nose
Scams
kidding.
are generally frowned upon.
Yeah, I don't.
Nose kidding.
I got a 2 for 1 on that one.
Ooh.
Ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. away from me, you blob. You blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Right. Ow, ow.
I got 10 inches of bounce on that one.
What, like the fabric softener?
No, fly. I whacked it with the fly swatter.
Oh, I just shot one of the. Do I get points if they shoot themselves? I don't think so.
No.
Unfortunately not.
Ah, that's not my. Oh, they almost look purple. That can't be right. It's probably my monitor.
Well, they're purple to me on mine too.
How are they purple?
How did he get purple?
I didn't even know you could get purple on that screen.
Not a
Oh,
bug
they're getting
feature.
aggressive.
Ah,
They're getting
you son of a.
aggressive. Woo! Aggressive fuckers. I don't know how anybody gets a 9,000 on this. I got the patch. I don't think I'm going to need it, but I think
Son
I
of a.
have it.
How did somebody manage to
never
get
even
900?
noticed that there was a problem with the scoring.
I can never score that high.
Yeah, I got anywhere near that.
Yeah, so that was.
I can get 900. Does that count?
I'm at like 1,800 right now. In the old duck and cover. Oh, crap. Man, they're getting fast. Ugh. Crap. Oh, 2,300.
Come down here. Yeah, right there.
Come here, come here, come here, come here.
Come here. Come here.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Oh, we got like 6
Yay.
people playing. Wow.
I got 1,300.
I got a rock.
Oh, that reminds me.
Old
That reminds me. Starting next week on Thursday, the 13th of October,
We're going to play Color Script Set 2.
we're moving the show from Friday back to Thursday.
Okay.
Did you fill out a change of address card?
Yes, we did.
Ah,
Why is it purple? Something.
And what time should we start? 7 or 8?
7 o'clock Central.
Okay.
So
8,
that would be
8 o'clock Eastern.
TV time. 8 o'clock's TV.
So still at 5 o'clock my time.
Mm.
So basically the same time we're starting now.
Is that what was it before? Was it later?
Well, it was at 7.
Can't remember.
Yeah, it was
I'm
at
fine with 7. I mean, it doesn't matter to me per se. I just, because it is a school night
Yeah.
for some people. Usually not me, but usually. But oh, there we go. I don't know. There was some weirdness going on there. At least on my CMA it was. Now it's okay. It's weird. It's so weird. Oh my goodness. It's like sparking fire hydrant. I don't know. Really? Really? If I really wanted to, I could stay on this level and just farm robots.
That's the same sound quality a lot better here on Discord.
You can't
Once
farm.
all the how
After
many
they just-
robots you need, you don't get any more points for it.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what I was just testing. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll get some bullets and then move on. He thought of most things. So is the audio on YouTube really bad, Curtis?
It's bad on all the streams except for Sloopy. Sloopy's crystal clear, and then everything else sounds like they're kind of distant in a big room. It's fine on Discord, but on both Twitch and YouTube, it's not the same.
Let me. Yeah, blame me.
He's got to turn up the volume of the bus.
Yeah, Sloopy, hang
It's
on.
It's not just the volume; it's also that it sounds like you're in a large room.
I wonder if we're coming through Sloopy's microphone instead of coming through.
I wonder if we're.
The thing is, it is not showing me talking.
This is me talking. La, la,
Okay, what if you
la,
want
la.
to just load up the YouTube page or whatever, and then you listen to us talking, and hear us talking. So, okay. But where'd Ken Reighard go? I thought he was on here for a bit.
He was.
He had some family thing to do.
How is that more important than the world premiere of his own game?
Dinner was more important.
I believe the missus
Hey,
had
I
gotten
eat
home
while
from
I'm on
work,
the air.
working a long shift, and wanted dinner. So I think they were.
Want dinner now?
I'll give you a robot nightmare if you don't get in here.
Yeah.
The spousal factor. That's
That was the overriding factor.
Yeah, that's exactly what this sounds like on the stream. It sounds like Sloopy's direct, and everybody else is coming through Sloopy's microphone from a set of speakers, and not coming
He's
directly
just got
to
us
Discord.
delegated to the back of the room. So
Yeah.
What do you forget to share?
Yeah, it sounds like you might have forgotten to check the little box when you shared your Discord.
Which box?
share audio.
On where?
When you share your monitor for Discord,
On the computer.
it gives you the option, a little checkbox saying share system audio or something like that.
Yeah, it's just a sound or la 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 la.
All right, let me try that again.
Hey, you're the one that showed me.
Fair, they keep killing me.
They're mean.
Screens. Application.
You're not supposed to die, right?
That's the
Ours
object.
aren't full, no.
Dying bad.
All right.
Well, maybe this game's a little different.
Hey,
Great.
bad.
Dying bad.
Good. You guys remember?
Alt smash. Still sounds like it's coming through Slippy's mic.
Yeah, why?
So I kind of missed earlier what the reason for moving back to Thursday is. It just is it easier on people? I have no idea.
News to me.
These decisions.
The reason why I'd moved it is because several people had requested it to be moved to Friday because Thursday everybody's got to work Friday, so they don't like staying up out late and such. And the thing is and they're not joining, and it's easier for both me and Ken if it's on Thursday. So, because when Missy comes here on Friday afternoons and she leaves on Sunday, and part of the agreement with her was if I did the show on Friday that I wouldn't sit here for hours on end on Saturday on the show. So this will allow me to be on the show for at least some of the time on Saturday. And what
It'll
the?
get you out of the doghouse, basically.
Not necessarily out of the doghouse, but
Well,
He's under the front porch.
Let's see here. Where is... Why is everyone sounding so... Yuck.
We're not coming through Discord, we're coming through your speakers.
You're not. I already checked. I covered the microphone and I can still hear you.
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I know that's what it sounds like.
It sounds like it's coming from a distant speaker. So.
All right. I just put the headphones into Missy's computer and I'm going to listen through there and see what it has to say.
I didn't know that Missy's computer talked.
Someone try talking. It is.
Now,
It is coming through my microphone. Why is it
like I
doing that?
fucking told you.
Well, the thing is that I disconnected before and I could still hear people.
Such language.
He's not Canadian.
I'm just expressing my frustration with I was right and you wanted to argue with me, but that's okay. Have fun.
He's in the wrong Toronto.
Yeah, we don't have any Tim Hortons here. I have to drive at least 10 miles to get to a Tim Hortons.
But why?
I don't really,
The donuts, man, the donuts.
I'd rather, you know what? There's other places I'd rather get donuts.
I'd drive 20 miles to not go to a Tim Hortons.
Okay, I agree.
You know what? I will say that my semi-local Tim Hortons has better breakfast sandwiches than like Dunkin', but that's not really saying much.
Dunkin' is like trying to eat leather.
Dunkin' breakfast sandwiches are like, and it's been consistent. I've gone to different Dunkin' Donuts in different areas. I mean, Chicago, locally, and other cities, and in like Cincinnati, and they're all just burnt crap. They're horrible. So I don't bother anymore. Even the one I stopped at after the morning after CoCo Fest and was leaving, got a breakfast sandwich and it was garbage.
Hey, got a high score.
All right, I'll be back.
Don't threaten us.
That's right. Ow.
I suck.
What you do in your own time is up to you.
I suck harder in public. That didn't come out right, so let me rephrase that.
All right, let's see how that works.
Okay. Well, we're getting nothing on the screen, just a G. Ah, there we go. We got video again.
Hola.
Somebody other than me talk.
I ran out of bullets.
Okay, what the hell is wrong with it?
What was that?
Still
Mm-hmm.
sounds a little distant.
Well, I keep managing to get a little bit luckier each time.
Not me. My first game was my highest score, and I have not even come close to it since.
Well, my high score is 600.
No, mine's 2100. So.
Those.
Hola. You hear me now?
Yes.
I hear you.
Nice.
Hey, we also have a Mr. Weasler.
Hello, guys.
And a Shenley.
Yes.
Quite a turnout tonight.
Yeah, even the author made an appearance.
Briefly.
Briefly.
Then he tucked his tail between his legs because of his scoring bugging left.
Oh no, he left once we started telling him about talk.
Sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Oh, I was going to say he left when we started talking about the misprint in the manual.
Why didn't you get that?
Yeah, with the secret levels.
This manual thing would you speak?
I don't know. I just heard about it. I haven't seen it.
There is one. I saw it. I read it.
I know there's a manual. I just haven't opened the PDF file yet.
Yeah, it's something with the secrets.
Oh shoot! I forgot I got laundry going. This game is so riveting. I forgot about it.
Robot laundry.
Yeah, my internet was down. Been down for a while, so it's like, well, I figure if I go run in here, and maybe when I get back, it'll be up, and maybe I can hop on.
So it's time for you to show us how this game's really played.
don't suppose you get the points if the robots shoot each other.
No.
Unfortunately, not.
Figures.
Hmm.
So has anybody found any strategies that seem to be working?
Don't die.
Die.
Don't die.
No. Okay.
I'm not very good at that strategy, but
Working, right?
According to Ken, you're supposed to sneak up behind the robots because otherwise they'll kill you every time.
Okay.
I don't do that. I usually try to shoot them like down a long hallway or something and then run up to the corner.
Yeah, the long hallway is key for sure. I kind of ignore the snake and the ammo eater.
The snake I don't because it freezes you for a bit and then you're
Yeah, but there are times where it doesn't really matter either.
that's true, especially if the robots are further away. It just delays you.
But I think that the key thing to focus on is the long hallway.
Of course, in the later mazes, you don't get as many of those long open hallways. Or at least starting around maze 3, that's about as far as I've gotten.
I will be back in a couple of minutes.
Oakley dokley.
Sounds good, Ken.
You have like a lame excuse like going to eat too.
I'm going to go see if there's anything to eat because I'm starving. But I'm not going to stay. I'm just going to grab something and come back.
Ramen noodles.
No, I think I'm going to have a taco or something. I think that's what's ready for me upstairs.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. Now. Hmm.
So Google's got the Dino Run. Edge has Let's Surf.
Is that a response from a previous conversation?
No, no, just my random observation while not playing Robot Nightmare.
Oh, okay. I mean, I missed something.
You guys playing joystick or keyboard on this?
Joystick.
I suck either way.
I'm actually playing keyboard here.
Deluxe joystick.
I just saw Nick private message me, how's the game? And basically, Nick, if you're listening, just pop on and you can chat. Kind of type things. Oh, that's good.
Nick's probably afraid to get on because this game, puts to shame anything that he's ever done. No.
Wow.
And it's more original and better animation. It's never a silly Aussie accent when you read the manual. Yeah.
Apologies, Nick. Please forgive.
I'm not apologizing. I meant everything else.
No.
I heard that.
Here's a game, Nick, that actually uses semi-graphics properly.
Hang on, I'll just write this down. No discount for Curtis.
You can write down between the previous 3 or 4 of those we've done. So
I can't stay. I've got someone coming over, but I'll just jump on and get harassed.
Well, you came to the right place. So.
You're right.
With the pros.
Hey, how do we end up getting game sound on the stream?
All right.
How do we end up getting game sound on the stream?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you picking up mine? Because I have it on the screen.
I can't do anything. No.
I have no idea.
I got somebody's. I muted my own, but I can hear somebody's.
Mine's on on the speaker on my Mac. I've got my headphones and microphone onto the Discord stuff. So I'm on a separate channel. That's what you're hearing.
Oh.
Super Genji in the chat is saying there's no game sound here on the YouTube stream.
It's just echoing in my head. Let's see if I can figure out whose it is.
It's the stuff of nightmares.
It's Sloopy's, I hear.
How can you hear my game sound?
I don't know, but if I mute you, I don't. It's in Discord. I hear it.
Actual game sound or my controller sound?
No, the motorboaty.
Yeah, because the audio for XOR is turned off on mine.
It's good that we're getting programmers now using this mode.
Yeah, see what you started, Nick.
Yeah, well, you know.
Now it gets good because we had a couple really good ones in the early days, like 82, 83, and then nobody really touched it after that.
Going to play, but the thing is, I've got this person coming over and.
Well, you can.
Oh, there's my. Oh, it's too late.
So, what's the game like?
It's like a bunch of other games I've played.
When you first play it, it's pretty unforgiving on you getting shot. Like you line up and you shoot a guy, but you have to like, get the heck out of his bullet path right away.
Because he's shooting on you pretty quickly.
Oh,
So it's a lot of like shoot and duck type thing, or sneaking behind as somebody else.
So what you're saying is requires skill. Okay, yeah. What else?
Yeah, you're screwed, Nick. I think it's all right.
And they move faster than you do. So you
At
can't
first
catch
glance,
up.
it seems really simple, but you got to learn the patterns and the enemies for sure. And then it can get complex after that.
Oh, learn. That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, you're double screwed now.
There's definitely learning involved in this for sure.
So, is it just different mazes one after the other?
I only ever see the one maze, so.
It's got it burned in his brain at this point.
So what do you have to do? I'm looking at the hang on, I'll go to the.
You have to shoot so many of the robots with the spinning tires, the unicycle robots, whatever you want to call them.
I think mine's sharing, right?
And then you get that flashing S thing you can see in my screen to get to the next level.
Now I'm looking at something.
Look for a long hallway. Hang out in the long hallway for sure.
Just trying to get all the live videos up. So hang on.
Go to the light.
That was last week.
Yeah, so basically you have to shoot so many robots. There's a counter on the bottom right. It tells you. You also got to pick up ammo, which is that flashing human-shaped thing with 3 bullets. And then you got a snake that will paralyze you if it runs over you. It doesn't kill you, but it'll prevent you from being able to run. And what does that flashing blobby thing do again?
That steals your
ammo.
Okay. You can fire in 4 directions.
Which stolen ammo is not always bad. If you got like 40 ammo, it doesn't matter.
Or you could use one to shoot it and it won't steal your ammo.
Now, the different colors of robots, I know are worth different points, but when do they come out? It depends what level you on? Or?
I think it's when you kill a robot and another one comes up with a different color.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dependent on how many robots start on the screen. So if there's 2 robots, you kill one, then the 1 becomes the second color. If there's 3 and you kill 1, then 2 become the second color. Kill 1 more and the third becomes the third color. Until other robots spawn.
At least we see colours on a black background.
I have to say, I do like this kind of 3D-ish look to the walls. Weight of that.
To the walls, yeah.
Colored squares, so you've got a darker one for the bottom.
Yeah.
That actually looks pretty good. Don't tell him I said that, though, because I know what I can't say. I mean, I praised Nick once in a while. Look what's happened there.
That's right. Those comments are now reserved for me.
Yeah.
Don't give them away. He's using the graphics, the font being created with the graphics.
Yeah, it is CoCo 3 compatible because of
So
that.
it's CoCo 3 compatible, yeah.
Well, give me X will fix that too.
Well, but this at least for me works on all CoCo.
Yeah. Right up.
How much RAM does it need this game?
Do you remember? I've got it on my page because I had to ask Ken that when I was doing the page entry. So I think it's 32K.
All right, yeah.
It's Semi-Graphics 12, I believe. That's the one you've been using. But yeah, if you check the on the webpage.
Yeah, it looks like 12.
Too busy talking to Nick here.
Yeah,
That was your plan all along, wasn't it, Nick?
Takes 32K.
Right.
What Sloopy said.
Yeah, that's what Coco Man said.
Like I said, it should be on my webpage too. So I did that.
That's what Coco Man said. What assembler does he use? Do we know?
Jason, do you know? Or is it-
He hand codes binary.
yeah.
Ooh, even better than me. They've done well. The man does look like he's running, despite he's wearing flares.
Yeah, the limitations of the graphics.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a 2600 game.
Well, this mode is so low res. Yeah, it does look a bit like that, but
I'd still like to see when you guys tackle a Semi-Graphics 24 game like Guardian.
24 doesn't make it any higher horizontally anyway.
No, it makes the vertical better. You can actually use it.
Yeah, it depends if the game's going to use it. Otherwise, everything's still going to look fat and move around really choppy.
I just take a look at a screenshot of Protectors and see what I mean. Because it does kind of gradiated stuff like that.
Yeah, but Protectors doesn't work on every CoCo. It doesn't.
Well, they would have had to redo it before.
We're just talking about using the colors. Yeah, it doesn't.
That one wows me even more than Guardian does. Guardian, the aliens are way too big for the game. It plays well. I mean, it does a really impressive job.
Yeah.
I still prefer Protectors 2 as my go-to for the best Semi-Graphics 24 usage. Semi-Graphics 3 for that one. It's a hard game. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's just unfair how you keep dying. Or at least I keep dying.
I think somebody already broke 10,000 on it, though, didn't they, Ken?
Yeah. Who was that? That was Brian Walsh.
It wasn't Buck.
Nope.
Is there that he's got that spoiling bug already?
Well, he said
That's
that
fixed.
for part of it, then wasn't there a second bug found?
It's that it won't save your high scores over 10,000 right now.
All right, yeah.
He's got that fixed, but now he's just waiting for somebody to actually get over 10,000 that's testing it.
Oh, don't look at me. I won't be doing that anytime soon.
One tip that's not so obvious: when you unlock the exit portal, you no longer get points for any of the robots.
Yeah, I remember I saw that you mentioned that.
So no farming.
Yeah, so just go to the exit when you see it.
The exit portal is what, that square in the middle?
No.
Yeah, when you shoot it, the number, in the
flashing,
beginning it's 5. When you shoot 5 robots, you get the exit portal.
Yeah, it's kind of a flashing thing that you get. It's not the center point.
No, it's like a flashing S.
Right.
Not the
Square
doom
box
zone.
with S.
I thought it was, I thought it was on the screen all the time.
No.
You have to earn it by killing robots.
Yeah, kill robots and then you get the portal. Yep. And you only fire horizontal. Oh no, he's got vertical as well.
The more I try to use strategy in this game, the worse I am at it.
Yep.
Uncle.
Oh,
See that flashing S at the top there, Nick, on mine? That's the door.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. I wonder how his sales are going.
I don't know.
Well, we've had about 15 people playing in the Game On Challenge, so they've all bought it.
Yeah, I bought it about 2 weeks ago, so I should be included in that.
Yeah. I bought it as well. I just haven't had a chance to play it. I ordered the CD.
The deluxe.
And now it's worth more because it's got the bug on it.
Well, that's right.
Not the collector's item.
Now you have to get the
Stop buying all
digital.
your get in order to buy this one.
Just like a modern game, first thing you have to do when you open up the package is get the digital update for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sold you a dog.
Ah, there. Only got a nice score.
Was there a game developing, not necessarily a person, but a company that, I don't want to use the word notorious, but quite often they would release games with bugs in them? I mean, that like more often than others back in the day?
EA Sports?
What's that?
EA Sports?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know if there was any game providers for the CoCo back in the day that just seemed like everything they released there was something wrong. Like they were too rushed to release or to come to market or anything. So
That didn't really happen until later. I think, like in the early days, it was all like 16K games, so it wasn't as much complex code. I think
that wasn't an option back then.
64K games started coming out.
It was also a lot harder to get updates.
Yeah, there was no updates.
There was no.
Well, there was a few. I do remember a few games getting like 1.1 releases, and you actually sent your tape back and got your plays. And Rainbow would publish some of those things saying send it here.
I guess that was my next question is, I mean, did these companies keep like a mailing list or something like that? Or how would they reach out to their customers, I guess? Or you just had to find out through Rainbow or something like that?
No. They were selling them in plastic baggies. Come on, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you'd have to probably, unless you had some sort of a registration or something like that, you'd have to probably, read it and then,
Well, you always got the thing that said, fill out this registration card, and if you didn't,
right?
Yeah.
Well, this would be a top tier game if it was released in the early 80s. The colour, the way it's packaged, and the presentation, everything looks
This is really going to go to Ken's head if he's listening to this thing.
packaged. The presentation, everything looks
Actually, no, it would have been a high.
so back in the day, it would have been really good, yeah.
That's the same thing with your games, Nick.
Yeah, we're only 40 years late.
better late than never.
That's why I figured.
See, mine just got published like in 5th place in the Rainbow books, so like nobody ever saw it.
Someone's asking in the chat where to purchase the physical version of it.
From the HIO page, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has everybody got that link they can throw up in the chat?
Give me a minute and I can find it. I'm just having
That's one
a
problem with
decent
HIO,
game. So
discoverability isn't the best thing.
Yeah, I'll just add into the Discord. Oh, yeah, sure. Good evening. So do you get the downloadable version for the physical?
yes.
Okay. Oh, I purchased the download version.
So maybe not tonight, since he's out to dinner right now.
It's all good.
Yep.
What terrible customer support.
Yeah, not awful.
It's all right, you should be here telling us what not to do.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's even showing up to criticize somebody else's game, not just his own. So I'll take dedication.
Well, really, when Nick has a game, he just comes for the praises.
I've got to go. My guest has arrived. Okay. See you later. Bye.
Good
See
night.
you, Nick.
Good night.
He wasn't kidding. I can't think of a game, either modern or retro, that is similar to this.
Well, it's based on a 2600 game. Which one is it? By M Networks, like the Mattel.
Dark Caverns.
Oh, yeah, that's the Dark Caverns.
I'll have to try that one out.
It's also a bit like Night Stalker on the Intellivision.
Okay.
Like Wizard of War, too, from the arcade. Oh,
Yeah,
much
because
harder.
Night Stalker and the other one was Space Marine.
Oh, is it?
That's a classic we never got on the CoCo. That's one of those. At least not that I've ever seen.
Here we go. Ken's next game.
Yep.
Wizard Nightmare. he'll call it. That was a retarded move, that one.
Hmm. For some reason, it just does not want to share the audio.
Thank you, Jason. I did finally get a tiny bit done for the next person. I actually made an icon.
You're like at a Nick Marenti's level.
Thought Nick gave you all the icons you need.
No, I don't. What I had to make one for CoCo or whatever you want to call it.
Easy for you to say.
Because Lucky Space App already had one with it, so that one.
And no matter what I do, I can't get it to share the audio.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Hmm.
We all know what it sounds like, though.
No, I'm talking
Well,
about people's.
Our audio.
Yeah, your audio.
Yeah, I really can't hear us on the stream that well.
Yeah.
I heard you guys fine when I was watching on YouTube.
What browser are you using?
Chrome.
Chrome.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was using, and it was sounding really distant and big, roomy for everybody. But
Yeah, it just sounds like we're coming through his speakers and through his microphone, but he doesn't seem to be able to figure out why it's happening.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like the first time I did it, I physically disconnected the microphone, and you could still hear you, but it didn't change because I physically disconnected my microphone. And then the second time I disconnected the microphone, it actually disconnected all audio. You couldn't hear you or me. And the audio abilities of Restream Studio leave something to be desired, to say the least.
yeah, I'm not as hyped up on Restream as Stevie is.
No.
Yeah, because
it's a good backup, but I wouldn't be using it as a main.
yeah, because I mean, when you go to add source, the only audio source that you can add is background music, and if you add the quote unquote background music, it's a bunch of pre-chosen music.
Why do I have no red? Going on here?
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
So I think next week I'm going to go back to OBS.
Oh, BS.
Mm-hmm.
Obis. Darn, so close to a high score.
Hey, level 5, first time I've ever made that far.
Wow. only ever made it to level 3 a couple of times.
Yeah,
What-
pretty as far as I made it.
What's your high score, Ken?
2100.
All right. Then I'm
Just
good.
so you can beat it.
I've already beaten it.
Oh, ain't
Oh,
you
boy.
just special?
Hey, you've gone 2 months beating me every time.
That's because you haven't been submitting scores.
When I
Absolutely,
have.
You're Nick Morantes to me.
Well, I'm not going to win doing that.
Level 6. Not that my score reflects very well. Oh, God. There, that's something.
Yeah, I need a better GPU.
I still won't be able to test the bug on the scoring thing.
Why?
Sounded good.
Okay.
I'm just going to go top my coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Get me a cup, too.
Do you have enough for the whole class?
Yeah, Missy's here, so you better get a 24.
That's a lot of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has a drinking problem when it comes to coffee.
She'd fit right in if she traveled with me and Curtis anywhere.
You two would probably ask her to cut down. Mhm. Mm.
I'm almost back home. I hope the internet's back up when I get back.
Coco Living is wondering what is going on here.
Exactly.
Figures it out, fella.
Yeah, I think I finally understand the game, and I'm doing worse than I did when I didn't know what the game was.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I got my highest score on the very first game I played tonight, and since then, I've barely even gotten close.
Yep.
Yeah, I just tried a couple times and you were pretty bad attempts.
All right, high score coming. Just passed my high score. I'm still going.
Nice.
Yay.
I'm nowhere near my high score, so.
Oh. 6,300.
Sounds like cheating to me.
I was just thinking we could have a CoCo Fest game on challenge, where we could have a game at CoCo Fest, maybe a couple CoCos set up, and people could play throughout the weekend and submit scores right from CoCo Fest, and have something there where people could sit down and play.
Didn't they kind of do that? Seems like they had some kind
Yeah,
of
we
game
did
running.
that. We kind of did that at Coco Fest this year. I don't think anybody actually submitted their scores that were there, but we had the game on games playing.
Oh, okay, cool.
We should have like a mini game on challenge there where we just actually have a physical scoreboard that people can put their scores down on.
We did that a few years ago, and we just had a couple mixed games like Zach's on it.
Okay.
That's when Bruce Moore's kids kept beating me all the time.
Oh.
Every time I got a score and I was all proud, he just incinerated like the very next round.
Game tournament, maybe?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
kind of like they did at Boat Fest.
We could do like a vote, like pick the top 4 games that we've done so far in the challenge, and then those are the 4 that everybody competes at the show.
Yeah.
Okay, we give a bit of variety.
Poltergeist, game 1.
Yeah, I could beat that stupid energy field then, because I didn't get I've done it before.
I never did beat it.
I did, but I beat it like 6 times, but I couldn't beat my score.
So you're saying you didn't get anywhere near the 15,000 that was printed in the Rainbow magazine for a high score?
No, I'm calling bullets on that one.
Oh, yeah, me too. I don't know if you can get much over 5,000 on an absolutely perfect game.
Yeah, somebody in Discord posted the calculations on it. I forget who it was, but
I think Buck Owens did that.
yeah, exactly. Wasn't even close to 15,000 though.
Wow, 3 bad guys with 1 shot.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 2 robots were on top of each other, and they were next to a snake.
I hate the fact that the robots can still shoot you even after while they're dying.
Yeah. I'm not particularly keen on the whole idea of the robot shooting me in the first place.
Well, if they couldn't shoot you, it wouldn't be much of a robot nightmare, would it?
Maybe.
Wow.
I'm just gonna have a couple more games here, and then back to get some stories for tomorrow. Not gonna be a long one. There's no such hand stuff.
Nobody tried Octandy like I suggested?
No, there's some other off thing already.
I have no idea.
There was another one for September also. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, it was in October when I can't remember.
Yeah, I know December is DOSvember.
Oh, you mean December?
Mm-hmm. But what DOS?
3.1.
1.0.
3.3. 2.5. 2.5 is my favorite, only second to SDX.
I think 6.22 was the sweet spot.
2.0, they introduced subdirectories. That was my favorite.
I'm also talking about Atari DOS versions.
All right.
Not PC DOS.
Never mind.
Yeah, 2.5 was the last Atari DOS that they released that was widely used and recommended. The 3 and the 4 were, well, 3 was a bastardization, and 4 was never actually officially released. Sparta DOS or SDX is probably the pinnacle of DOS on the Atari.
How come fun when Slippy's on. We always end up talking about Ataris.
I attribute it to brain damage.
Hey. I represent that comment.
I was waiting for him.
And it's not brain damage. It was factory installed like this.
Yeah, CoCo used to have an excuse that all the gamma radiation from the green screens there sometimes are.
Yeah. We went insane because of all the colors.
I thought you went insane from the Atari front keyboard.
No, I never really used one, and actually, I actually did use them, and I don't know why it is, but back then they worked a lot better than they do now. Because back then they were almost like touch sensitive, whereas now they seem to be pressure sensitive. So you actually had to push them a little bit. But back then,
I did try using one back in the day before I got a CoCo.
yeah, I mean, either way, I wouldn't recommend doing a whole lot of typing on them. I mean, literally, they
I
were.
know quite a few people that bought the original Atari 400 and then went and traded it in for Atari 800, even though it was different.
Yeah.
Just because of the keyboard.
Yeah, I mean,
that was thousands of dollars.
yeah, it was better than like a ZX80 ZX80 81, but you're talking difference between a bucket of poop and a bucket of crap.
Why? Just because on the ZX81 you have to use a pinhead to hit the keys? They're so small.
Yeah.
My giant sausage fingers hit about 4 keys at once all the time.
Shoot, I got along good with that keyboard.
The Atari 800 keyboard actually wasn't bad. I didn't mind that. That was pretty decent.
I mean, I still only touch with one finger at a time. Type.
Yeah, when I first started the CoCo, that's what I did. I went to typing class specifically to learn how to type fast.
I failed mine.
What does the blob do to you?
Steals your ammo.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Genji. He goes to grab the more ammo and it disappeared.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to work on my joystick.
I learned to type on the Apple IIe.
Yeah,
I type on an old-fashioned typewriter, the kind that you had to push the keys about 2 centimeters down to make them work.
He had a manual typewriter.
Yeah, we had to like really press hard to get it in.
Yeah, you want that, Genji. That's more power, and you don't want the staticky thing, the blob, to touch you because it takes away your bullets.
Then I remember when I was in school and I took a typing class so that I could get better, and I had a teacher that kept lecturing us about how to just stick with the typewriter. Don't bother using computer keyboards because they're not going to be around. They're a passing fad.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Our typing teacher pretty well knew, even back in like '82, that computers were here as well.
My typing teacher was an idiot, so.
Yeah.
And I hope she's listening.
I never took typing.
See, for me, that'd be my comp sci teacher, because that was one of those ones that they did with kind of summer course, and us kids had to teach the teachers how to programming stuff.
Yeah, for high school, I never took typing, and then college, I tested out of it.
Well, my typing teacher disliked me so much because I was always butting heads with her that she gave me an ultimatum that if I promised not to take typing the next year, I didn't have to show up to the final and she'd pass me.
Wow. No, I heard somebody mention the Apple IIe. I learned pause on the Apple IIe as well.
Well, the first computer I ever got to use was on Apple II Plus. So.
Me too.
Yeah, for me, it was the original PET keyboard with the chiclet keys. I wouldn't recommend that.
A regular 2 Plus?
I think so. I mean, I was just young then.
Yeah, I was on the Bell and Howell 2 Plus, which is black.
Okay, I was just on regular 2 Plus because my mom was a teacher,
Yeah.
and the teachers were allowed to take the computers home for the weekend. So she would bring one of the Apples home every weekend. So
Hmm.
Yeah, we had the Pet the first 2 years, and then we had the Apple II Plus after that. And then I think at the end of high school, we finally got some 2s.
Yeah, the first computer my parents got was a 486, or even a Pentium 1. It was years later. I grabbed a whole stack of computers they were throwing out. They were mostly a bunch of PCXTs and a couple 286s. One was a PCXT 286 and the other one was a straight up 286, all original IBMs. And my dad looked through them before I was allowed to touch them, which really annoyed me. And he told my mom, "Oh, there's nothing worth anything in there. He can have them."
well, I never got my first PC computer till I think it was 2001.
Yeah, this was 90.
That's when I finally retired my Apple II GS.
Yeah, this was 89 or 90, and that was because I worked in the city in Wilmington, and there was this company that was being emptied out, and they were taking all the computers out and putting them into a dumpster. And I talked to the cleaning crew and talked to the boss and asked him if I could take the computers, and he said, "Yeah, if you wait until after 5 o'clock, you can take as many as you want." I was like, "Okay."
What always makes me cry is the school my mom worked for. They had all those Apple II Plus computers, and then when they upgraded, they just took them all to the dump.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the local.
I got to buy the elementary school Apple II computers when they got rid of them.
Yeah, the local school in Delaware actually had the maintenance crew break them with a hammer because another school district, they decided to sell them off. And there was a big brouhaha because what they did was they offered them to staff first, and then PTA people got really pissed because they were to be offered them second, and there was none left by the time the PTA, because staff were allowed to buy as many as they wanted for, I think it was like $50 each. And this one teacher bought like 10 of them and then turned around and resold them for $200 each. So the school district that I was in, they were like, "We don't feel like dealing with that." So they just had the maintenance staff break them up into pieces and throw them in the dumpster. And then someone, I won't name names, but someone then got the police called on them for jumping in a dumpster and trying to grab the boards.
Wonder who that could be.
I don't know. The one police officer looked at the other and says, "Are we seriously charging someone for theft for taking stuff out of a dumpster?" And he was like, "Yeah." And their boss came up to him, the supervisor. He goes, "Did I hear that right?" He goes, "You're charging someone for theft out of a dumpster?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, what's going on?" And they're like, "Well, come here." And they went into the other room. They talked. They came back out. They looked at me, and they said, and the supervisor says, "I'll make."
You mean they looked at that person, that unnamed person?
Yes, they looked at that unnamed person, and they said, "Tell you what, we'll make you a deal. We'll let you go if you do not tell them that we didn't charge you, because this is ridiculous." I said, "I didn't know nothing."
Well, what are they going to do? Because garbage is theoretically worth nothing, so that's theft.
Well, in Delaware, it is theft all the way up until the day of pickup. If it's the day of pickup, then you can take it with no repercussions. Because if they would have done it as a trespassing violation, then they would have done it. But because they couldn't determine the day of pickup, He's like, the DA may just drop it in the first place and waste everyone's time. So I just do it now.
Anyway, I don't think I'm going to beat my score. I got to get some other stuff done here. So, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Is it possible to play the game with keyboard?
Yes.
In emulation, yes.
Oh, only in emulation? Okay.
I don't know about in actual.
I think you hit the space bar instead of the fire
Yeah.
button.
Yeah. Space bar and then arrows and.
Okay, I'll give it a try right now.
I would think that would be brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know. My joystick just seems really sloppy.
No.
3, you can also use the Control Alt keys.
Yeah, my 3's at my PO box right now. I just bought one this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I kind of jumped really hard into this again after finding all you guys and all the videos and all the Sandy stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I picked up a modified Color 2 on eBay that had like the composite out and a CoCo STC with it, so I was able to get one of those.
Nice.
And then I picked up a non-modified 2, and then I realized, oh, everything I want to do is on the 3. I must have had a 3 as a kid because I remember playing Sexender and like, you know, I have a Super Pitfall cartridge here, and I'm like, I must have had a 3 because none of the shit works on the 2.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, let me find a 3, and yeah, that was challenging, but luckily somebody posted the 3 with the 512K mod already done and that CPU saver mod redone. So I picked that up right away.
Yeah. I got my first CoCo, which was a CoCo 3 about 2010, I think it was 2009 or 2010. And I never really used it until September of 2020 when I found this Discord.
Yeah, I grew up with it, and I'm 42, and I had it when I was like probably 10, so 1990.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what happened to my original, but I remember having the monitor, like the RGB monitor and everything, and I still have the joysticks and like a couple of carts that I didn't sell off when I found out they were worth something like 5 years ago, ish. You know, but yeah, I was like, I want to get all this stuff back, so I was like, oh, I'll just buy it all again.
Yeah, I got a Commodore Plus 4 Christmas '84. I still have that. And summer of '85, I got an Atari 800, and I still have that.
Yeah, that's nice that you kept all the original stuff.
Yeah, my the CoCo that I got like 12 years ago, I actually sold the CoCo 3. I actually sold that. There was someone who didn't have a CoCo 3 at all, and it needed a little bit of work, and I just never got around to it. So I offered it to them for a good price because they were in Canada, and so Canadian postage was going to cost a bit, and then finding a CoCo 3 was going to cost a bit. So
yeah,
I gave them a good price on the whole thing as is.
Yeah, I'm not patient enough to wait for CoCo Fest in April, so
yeah, at the last, yeah, it's CoCo Fest. If you do it right, you can get really good deals.
It's funny is that I grew up in Des Plaines, Illinois, which is literally 15-20 minutes from all that stuff.
Yep.
And I now live in Florida, so I have to go back to my parents' house and stay with them for that weekend. So I'm going to rummage through the basement and see what I still have there.
Well, at least you have a place to stay.
Yeah, that helps for sure.
Yeah, I don't like mentioning what I get at shows because when I do, people want to kill me.
Yeah.
Because it's such a
You're
good
the
deal.
luckiest bastard alive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know about that. I got a CoCo 1 and a multi-pack and a disc drive and a bunch of other stuff for $50 at a Hamfest a couple years ago.
That's pretty good.
I forget what it all had with it now. I think it even had like a disc drive for a Model 100. There was so much stuff.
Oh,
An
nice.
X-Pad. It was like the deal of the century.
Yeah.
I think it was,
Also pre-COVID pricing.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
2019. That still was a steal at the time because I'm like, at that time I think the multi-pack would have sold for $200 on its own. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I just picked up a CoCo 2 at Tandy Assembly for $50. I got a disc drive for $50 with disc pack, a 502 controller and disc. VCF Midwest, I got a CoCo 1 for $20.
That's cool.
At CoCo
Yeah, I need
Fest.
to replace my CoCo 1.
Yeah.
Triplet.
At CoCo Fest last year, I got a CoCo 1 for free. That didn't work, and all I had to do was move a jumper.
I got 2 CoCo 2s I got to fix. One of them I want to get traded for a CoCo 1.
And we're doing a local retro computer meetup in Orlando area tomorrow at an airport. And I'm going to take my CoCos. I'm going to take the CoCos, and I got. So I guess I got a question about that. Is if hopefully I can get my cassette cable in the mail by tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. But if you load up a game via the cassette, you don't that's it. It'll run the game until you exit it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
want
only
to?
have one SDC, so I have gonna have 3 machines there, so
Ah.
I want to load up the Ghost Rush game.
You need to. Yeah, you need
the
to.
Halloween version.
Yeah, exactly, the Halloween Ghost Rush. Is there another version of it?
Yeah, the non-Halloween one.
I didn't realize that. Did the same guy that Joe Shoemaker do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did
the plan was for the Halloween one. I thought that was the only version.
why don't you have DriveWire?
Yeah.
I don't know because I literally bought all the shit 2 weeks ago.
Ah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't even plugged in the second CoCo 2 that I just got in today. So that
Cool.
one's not modified at all. So I don't even think it has extended basic on it. So I can't even use the SDC with it.
Oh, then you need internal DriveWire. Which
If
CoCo?
only there was somebody around that sold that. Who would
Yeah,
that be?
I have no idea. Who would that be? Which CoCo 2 is it?
I honestly haven't even taken it out of the packing peanuts yet. From the
Okay.
guy. Let me see if I can find the serial with the pictures.
All I need to know is the RF modulator vertical or horizontal?
I believe it's horizontal, if I remember the pictures correctly.
Ooh. Yeah, then the internal DriveWire board is going to be difficult.
Well, the fact that you're on chat here tonight is pretty impressive after just getting it.
Yeah.
When I jump into a hobby, it's go big or go home kind of thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
September 2020, I had one CoCo 3. I had one disc controller and one cartridge.
okay, so I lied. It looks like actually in the pictures, I didn't notice this, but it must be the vertical one because the 3 and 4 are above the 2 TV RF out.
Perfect. You the man. I can hook you up.
Are you familiar with DriveWire?
I mean, I've seen the like chat or the like thing in here, and I tried to do a little bit of research. It's where you load from the computer, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you load software on your PC, which turns into a little server.
Yeah,
and then you connect the CoCo to it through a serial port.
Yeah, you basically turn your PC into a floppy drive emulator. Yeah,
I still got to figure out how to get that to work for printer emulation, though.
Yeah, but
I had to take push to talk off because it's super fucking. Sorry.
Yes, that's why we turn it off.
But I live in a zoo, so I just don't want the zoo to like interrupt. Yeah, exactly.
I used to live in a zoo. Worst part about it is
and you shaved.
Yeah, all the animals were related to me.
Yeah, I didn't. So I think from looking at the pictures of that one, it's also the melty keyboard, which my other one is not. So I'm not disappointed that I ended up with two colored keys, I guess.
Melty
there's
keyboard's
at
the
least
earlier
three different
version.
versions.
Yeah,
there's the melted,
yeah.
there's the non-melted, and then there's the CoCo 2B.
Or not to be.
DDG.
Yeah. So is it just a cable that hooks up to the back of the serial I/O on the Color 2 to the computer? Like
Yes.
USB or something?
Yeah.
Well, it's a stereo cable, and you can get like a USB adapter.
Okay.
Or you can go wireless.
So what's your PayPal?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't do the wire. I don't do the wired one. I do the wireless one.
Wired cable? I do the wired
Yeah.
cable.
Coco Man does the wired cable. I do the wireless.
Oh, okay.
So if you go onto the cocoman.org site.
CoComan.biz.
Oh, it's cocoman.biz. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
I have one. The only difference is it's not tan; it's black. But other than that,
I guess I have to look at the differences between so when you say wireless, not that I guess I don't care which version, it doesn't matter. I assume the wired is more reliable than wireless. Maybe not. Maybe you guys inform me.
I have no experience
all
with
about
the wireless.
Yeah, basically it uses a Wi-Fi module that it goes inside your machine, so you don't have to have your CoCo right next to your PC.
Is it like a FTP server type thing?
No, it's the same software that whether you use a wireless or you use the wired, it's the same software. It's I usually use PyDriveWire. I sent you a link that shows you how the wireless is set up and run. And there's also a board. It's called the internal drive wire. And to use it on the CoCo, you have to have a DOS for the drive wire in the CoCo to be able to use it. And you can either load it through a cassette, you can put it onto a ROM pack, or you can do what the board that I sell is called internal drive wire, which actually puts it into the CoCo. And then when you put it into the CoCo, your cart port is still open, so that you can use like IO based carts that don't have ROMs, such as like the sound carts and the joystick controller, like the CoCo PSG, the Orchestra 90, the CoCo MIDI, any one of those.
I saw a cart that had like a Ethernet port on it.
Yep. They're still being developed, and once they're released, you'll be able to use that also.
Welcome to the CoCo Home Shopping Network. Act now, and we'll throw in.
And your channel has already like sold me enough of this shit. Like like you're probably the one YouTuber like I keep coming back to your videos. Like I've watched a video of you like loading your MC10 with stuff from like your little boom box or the that little TV that has the cassette on it. I don't know. You've done it like so many different ways.
Yeah.
The iPad.
My favorite was Bluetooth.
I have not.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, you should.
But
the best is the reading magazines by the fire pit.
Yeah. Yeah. You should watch Ken's video on the Drive Wireless.
Which will be hopefully out in the next week or two.
Yeah,
I ended up buying I thought I could just buy any 3.5-inch audio cable to 5-pin DIN or connector, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I ordered the right cable from 8-Bit Classics. I hope to get it soon so I can actually do something with the MC10 other than
you should have bought it from CoCoMan.biz.
I actually don't have one listed.
Listen, I've gone through these websites so many times. I'm sorry, Coco Man, I do offend you. But I don't, I've looked at all the CoCoWares.com or whatever, all these different Ed Snyder's website, all this shit is a couple years old and out of stock. Basically, is what I'm finding, and I guess it's because of the whatever the electronic shortage maybe, or maybe it's just a on-demand service at this point. I know I sent Ed an email and I haven't gotten anything back yet. That was a week ago about the MCX SD.
Ed's a one-man show.
Yeah.
As far as CoCoWares goes, I don't think that site's been updated in quite some time. That's the fellow from Uruguay. I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
And that's bad because I've met him, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name. But that was a neat idea, but it's really, and if it was in date, it would be nice because that was the first one I saw for different CoCo products when I got back into the CoCo, and but unfortunately it's out of date.
Yeah. Okay. So you make the switcheroo card cable.
Yes. Sure do.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm debating on waiting and picking up at CoCo Fest, or maybe I just order from you. The guy who I just got the Color Computer 3 from recommended that for sure with the SCART box, the HDMI box.
Yep.
I'm just gonna mess around with it with the composite out first and see before. Like I said, I've put a lot of money into this stuff over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, just get that Coco Man guy to give you better instructions. I probably spent 15 minutes today trying to get my stupid switcheroo working, and I realized the USB cable wasn't plugged in.
That is on the installation instructions, Ken. It says that it has to be plugged in for proper all connections have to be made for proper operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need a troubleshooting thing. Not getting RGB. Well, check that it's getting power.
So that switch on there, is that so you can run it as either composite or SCART, or do you need the composite to make sure that the SCART signal is balanced or whatever it says? I don't know. Maybe I'm
right. What that's for is, number one, those SCART to HDMI converters need composite video sync. And that is not provided on the RGB port. It's separate horizontal and vertical sync. Okay. And even trying to use a sync converter circuit, I've tried several ones, and I've just read this elsewhere and come to the same conclusion that those SCART converter boxes do not like that combined sync for any of those circuits. So I grabbed the composite. Yeah, so either way, I have to grab the composite video off the composite port. So then what happens? So that goes into the SCART converter box. But what the SCART converter box is also looking for, there's pin 16 on that SCART connector. Either it needs to show somewhere between 1 and 3 volts for it to look at the RGB signals coming in and convert those. If you turn that power off, i.e. unplug the USB cable or flip the switch, then it looks at the composite output. And what that is useful for is the CoCo 1 and 2 games that use the one screen that's the artifact color graphics, the red and the blue, because those don't show up on RGB.
Do those SCART boxes also take the composite in?
Yes, they do. The ones that you buy on Amazon and Those ones do composite video. But where you're going to run into the ones that don't do composite at all, other than for sync, or when you get into the really expensive ones, like several $100s. Those ones don't do composite at all.
Right back.
So they're more useless.
It depends on what you're using them for. I guess they have a slightly better lag time, but but for the CoCo, they're not all that useful. I mean, unless you're just going to do strictly RGB. But that was the whole thing behind the switcheroo. You could flip the toggle switch rather than have to unplug the USB port.
Cool.
But I really only find it useful for artifacts or games. Other than that, composite on the CoCo 3 looks like crap, and that SCART box isn't going to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love my composite on the CoCo 3.
And that's what I'm running right now. Is I'm running a switcheroo through a converter, and then I'm using an HDMI capture device to get my video.
Me too.
But I'm also using a Wallaby cable to split the RGB signal. So I'm looking at my CM8 when I'm playing.
Yeah, I need to get one of the Wallaby cables myself.
I do too.
Crikey.
Do you know anywhere I can buy one?
Yeah.
I do.
Are they in stock?
Yes.
Oh, cool. How much are they?
I think they're $10.
How much is that in Canadian?
30.
But I think it's like $400 Canadian.
Oh, geez, that's a steal.
I know, right? Yeah, it's metric money.
Dollar strong right now.
All orders placed after 8/29 may not be built until after 9.
That's done.
Okay.
I had to kind of put a freeze on things so I had time to get things built to take to VCF. Yeah, that needs to go away. Because what happened was I came back from VCF and then I got COVID, so I've been kind of behind on things.
It happens.
Yeah, I
got over it myself.
I got.
I'm still feeling laggy. I don't know why today it was very just worn out.
Yeah, I don't recommend getting COVID a month before VCF either.
No, I don't imagine you would, but we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that notice.
As you can tell, how unprepared I was for.
No. Yeah. I missed like a week and a half of work.
Work from home.
I can't work from home.
I told my boss, I said, I'm mostly work from home anyway. I go in the office occasionally.
I can't work from home, unfortunately. But
All right.
My company has a really good program, and since I hadn't actually had COVID leave, so I got paid for all that time that I was gone. So that was excellent benefit of the company. And since I hadn't, that was the first time I'd even gotten it. I'd been so careful. I have my theory on how I got it now, but I have my suspicions. But
hanging out
that
with
involves
all
people I will not. That involves people I will not discuss anymore.
What's the didgeridoo audio digitizer?
That is a reproduction of the audio digitizer cables that use the joystick port.
Ah.
I think it works with. I know it works with like 2 or 3 different programs for certain.
So this game, the colors look good on my CoCo 2, like running from my SDC. But when I try to run other games, I swear, like the colors are usually inverted. And I figured out if I press reset 100 times, like maybe I'll get the colors come back the right way.
Oh,
but they still look good. Is that normal?
Is it the red and blue are reversed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to hold down.
Artifact that's the artifact colors I was talking about. On the CoCo 1 and 2, you're kind of at your random. to where you actually boot your CoCo up on the 60 cycle power cycle, and that determines whether you're red and blue or reverse. So a lot of those games have things that'll say if it's red, do this, or if it's blue, do that, or something.
Yeah.
And that's what you would need the composite mode. On the CoCo 3, that's controlled. It powers up the same way every time, and if you need to reverse them, you just hold down F1 and reset, and it'll go to the other mode.
Which usually ends up being pink.
On the CoCo 3, so that, but yeah, this is a CoCo 2 that
Yeah,
somebody
you just have
did the RF mod too. So it's got the like 3.5-inch composite, like it's a composite mod.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do it, but somebody else did it to go.
Right. Yeah, on the CoCo 2, you just have to keep mashing the reset until it's
okay. So that's normal. Okay.
That is completely normal.
I thought maybe I just had like a bad box.
Nope, that's normal.
Okay.
That only works in North America too. That's it's taking advantage of a defect in the NTSC television system to get those 2 extra colors, because that graphic screen is only supposed to be black and white.
It's not a bug; it's a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked to one of the guys that worked for Tandy or Radio Shack, and he said when they were developing the CoCo 2, they fixed that, and they're like, you broke this. You have to. I don't know if that was Steve or if that was somebody else, but initially they fixed the artifact color quote unquote problem. They're like, no, you got to put that back. You broke. That's a feature we're using now.
Yeah, that was in Boise's book.
It was in Boise's book. I know someone mentioned it on the show also. I don't know if it was Mr. Bjork or if it was the other fellow who worked for TNG. Mark.
I worked for Radio Shack when I was 21 years old. That was 2001. I worked for them for like a year between that and Circuit City. If you remember Circuit City.
I was going to work at a Radio Shack, but then I got a better job somewhere else.
Well, I was just like, you need to get out of the house, go do something else.
It was one of those situations where I was out of work. So.
It was selling. It was in that time, 2001. It was all about selling Sprint cell phones. And
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Getting spiffs.
Yeah.
Because the Sprint cell phones were like no contract, buy the phone outright, and they were like the easiest fucking thing to sell.
And that's at least around in my area. That's when they had the Swiss cheese network.
Yeah.
More Swiss cheese than it is now.
And the battery club.
Yes, of course. Dude, I love it when customers would come to the door like as you were closing, and they'd be like, "I just want to buy this resistor or something," and like you're like, "Yeah, but that means you're gonna bring down my total ticket value for the day," because they look at your like total sales, like per the average of the sales. It's like, yeah, I don't think my store manager wants me to sell you that resistor. I felt so bad. But I was yelling at that asshole. So.
Yeah, I had a
you gotta play
local,
the game.
I had a local Radio Shack that they wouldn't give you the time of day if you weren't buying big ticket items.
Yeah, that's what corporate told us to do.
And I would go in there like when I wanted to buy a bunch of small stuff. I'd go in there and buy a couple, walk out, and then come back a few minutes later, buy a couple more. Yeah,
that's when you start using your coworkers, initials for their sales.
Yeah, I actually got thrown out of that one a couple times, so I'd have to go to the other one.
Sad. That's the reality that it was back then.
Yeah. Jason.
Yeah.
You've got an order.
You got bail.
Yeah.
Like fries with that?
Yes, please.
Oakley dokley.
On a more serial note, the connectors that go into the cable,
Which cable?
The Wallaby cable.
Yeah.
The connectors that go into the end of it, or go into the CoCo 3 itself. Would you sell me 2 of them also?
can send you 2 of them.
Oh, cool.
The 10-pin IDC. You know, just
Yeah.
throw them in the biggie. It's not worth the trouble of me charging you for them at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've got 20s and I've got 40s, but I don't have any 10s. And I need to make a couple cables because I have the various monitors that I have round-in RGB inputs, DE9 inputs, and BNC inputs, and so I have them all. I have converter cables that convert all that into an HD15. Then I make individual cables for the individual systems from whatever they are to the HD15.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start selling one for the Commodore 1084, that 6-pin DIN one. Somebody wants me to make them one.
Yeah.
I've just gotten behind with things because being sick and then being busy with work this week.
Do you have one of
back to work?
Do you have one of those monitors?
I don't, but I have made them in the past, and I think I made one for Stevie, and I made an adapter cable back to adapt it back to the CM8, so I know it worked. And when that worked, and then Stevie got it and it worked, it's like, okay, well, I have a test cable.
Yeah.
That's how I worked that one out. I just made a cable to go back the other way so I could test it on the CM8.
Yeah,
that one doesn't do audio because the audio is on a separate cable. So that's it.
Yeah, I have a CM80, a Magnavox CM80, which uses the same exact DIN.
Yeah, I know there's a couple Magnavox, I think, that do analog RGB also.
Yeah.
Is there a list of like RGB compatible alternative monitors to like the Sandy CM series monitors?
Pretty much.
Somewhere, but
I mean, I like is the 2GS RGB monitor, like the Apple Color RGB monitor, compatible with that? If you converted it or no?
99%, yes.
It's also analog RGB. I've never tried that one.
Yes, it is. It's the problem is that the analog RGB standard is 15.75 kilohertz, and the 2GS is like 15.5 or 15.6 kilohertz. So they will display on it. It's just that the screen will be shifted. One way, if you use the 2GS on something else, and then the other way if you use something else on a 2GS monitor. I used to have a 2GS monitor, but because I have Sony PVMs and the Magnavox and 1084s, someone offered me an obscene amount of money for the 2GS RGB monitor, and I was like, okay.
So I guess like the alternative question to that is like, what monitor is more plentiful in terms of an RGB monitor? If like I want to find an alternative to the Sandy, because that seems like they're really hard to find or very expensive if you can.
The most plentiful are the Sony PVM series, but people want like top dollars because they found out that people that like to play older systems like them. But pretty much anything that works on an Atari ST and Amiga will work on the CoCo 3.
Okay.
Like
I sell a SCAR cable for the Apple 2GS also.
Yeah,
and it works great.
Yeah, pretty much any Commodore monitor that's not a 17 series or 18 series will work. Like the 1080, 1084, the 2002. There's a whole bunch of them, but the 1080 and 1084 are the most common. And then the Magnavox Color Monitor 80. There's a bunch of different models of it.
Yeah, that was another one. It was like an MCM. Yeah, I forget. There was a real common one that used to sell in Rainbow all the time.
Yeah, there's others.
What Curtis has.
So you said like a Commodore 1080, 1084, a Magnavox Color Monitor 80, and anything Sony PVM?
Not anything Sony PVM. As long as it does RGB, it'll do what you need. Yeah, and the Sony PVM, you'll notice that there's a like a PVM 8, a PVM 9, a PVM 13, and a PVM 14, and then there's the PVM 19 and the PVM 20. The two numbers next to each other they're the same size. It's just that in the middle of making them, monitor sizing was changed how it was measured in the industry. So a PVM 19 and a PVM 20 are the same size monitor, and a PVM 13 and a PVM 14 same size.
Okay.
And the easiest way to tell with a PVM is when you look at the switches on the front. If there's like only one or two switches and only a couple LEDs, then it's more than likely just composite. But if it has like a whole bunch of buttons and LEDs, then it's RGB.
Thank you for the information.
No problem. You said you're in Florida?
Yes, sir. Right here on the Space Coast, across the street from the vehicle assembly building. So when they launch, it wakes me up.
I'll make you a deal. If you drive up here and drive back with 3 monitors, I will give you one.
Drive up where? Oh, when I come to CoCoTALK?
No, when you come up here, you come up here and get 2 monitors for someone else that lives in Florida and for you, and then drive back and give them their 2 monitors.
Where is here?
I'm in Maryland. I'm just north of Baltimore.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
that's hardly any distance.
Yeah, and not to mention you're guaranteed that it won't get broken in shipping.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Are you going to
pass the savings on to you?
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Only on the CoCo Discord home shopping network is Ken put it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that with as heavy as those things are, you may break even with shipping.
Yeah, well,
Last time
you'd be surprised at some of these people are charged a semi-reasonable rate on shipping.
Yeah, but they're still governed by how much they're charged for shipping. And the last time I shipped a Sony PVM, it was $80.
Damn. Well, did you ship via FedEx Ground or?
No, actually, I shipped via USPS because FedEx and UPS were over 100.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I found pretty good luck with FedEx rates when I have to ship stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it varies, honestly.
Yeah, it varies by the temperature of their ass in the chair. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky tomorrow. It's the first time I'm going to meet these guys from the Orlando Retro Computer Club. So
yeah,
maybe they got some stuff stashed away.
Yeah, that's the absolute best place to get one for a good price at retro clubs and meetings and shows.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But now I'm disappointed because I think I won't be able to test my color computer too, because the only thing I have is my SDC or my Super Pitfall cartridge, the other CoCo 2. So I don't actually have a game I think that'll work. It's non-modified with no extended basic. Do I need extended basic for the drive wire to work?
Yes, you need extended basic for the CoCo SDC to work.
Yeah, well, the modified CoCo 2 I have in front of me has extended basic and the SDC came with it. That all works. But the other unmodified one, I'm sure is like bone stock, like just even just probably this whatever 16K RAM or whatever it came with originally, maybe 8K or I don't know.
CoCo 2s came with 16K unless you bought a more expensive one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one came with only 16 and extend. I don't think the guy really tested it very well, so I'm gonna see if power's on. I'll see what's on it, and then I'll. This is where
It'll tell you if it has extended basic or not. Is that the one with the melted keyboard?
Yes, it is the one with the melted keyboard.
Yeah, so that may only be 16K, and in that case, there'll be an empty socket for a extended color basic.
Yeah, that's one of my other goals. I want to learn. I know in my intro thing I posted about it is I want to learn how to flash a EEPROM. So there's
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy. The hard part is finding the right kind of EEPROM, but then there's also worst case, I think Retro Innovation sells a replacement board that'll plug into that socket.
Yeah.
That can be flashed with the correct ROM.
Yep.
Are you talking about like the number of legs on it, like the 24 pin versus the 8?
You can actually buy a board that'll actually go in there that'll allow you to use a standard EEPROM. Rumor has it if you message them, you might actually even be able to get the ROM pre-programmed.
That would defeat my learning
with the extended color basic.
That was Retro Innovations.
Yeah, it's
go4retro.com.
Yep.
Go the number 4 retro.com.
Man, you had a voice for radio.
I've got
a face for it too.
I've got a face for radio.
I was gonna say, I bet.
I'm just trying to beat everyone to that one.
I've got
everybody WNBC.
Yeah, I've got the face. I've got the face for radio. I've got the voice for printed word. I'm a complete package.
That's how I feel about myself.
Yeah. Yeah, people said I sounded terrible, so I got a better mic, and
you actually sound
good. And you sound even worse.
Yeah, and they said that didn't improve anything.
Don't listen to Ken.
Maybe you should switch to menthols.
Yeah, I do menthols.
You sound like a Sloopy to me.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to, since no one's really playing and we're discussing other things, I'm going to end the show.
I need to submit my score.
I'm playing, but I'm not beating my score by any means.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, the show is open as long as it's Game On or related, everything's really good. As long as it's CoCo related, it's good. I mean, I don't mind talking about all the CoCo stuff, whether it's games or not. I mean, literally, you don't even have to play the game of the week. You can play any game on the CoCo and you'd be fine. Like one week, there was a game that let's just say it wasn't particularly popular. And
you can play any game you want unless you're trying to play Super Pitfall on a CoCo 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't work for me.
So, all right.
Poltergeist.
Thank you, all you wonderful viewers, for tuning in to the CoCoTALK Game On Challenge Live, featuring Robot Nightmare by Ken Reighard. Thank you, Ken, for making this wonderful game. And I know everyone gives you shit about it, but I, for one, actually think it's a decent game and I like it. And I give it a rating. It's in the top 50 CoCo games of all time. Thank you for watching, and join us tomorrow on CoCoTALK, where we stand around and talk about CoCo, your favorite computer. And next week, don't forget, we will be changing to Thursday at 8 o'clock for the Game On Challenge Live. So join us. CoCo on, people.